Do you struggle with staying consistent in your Bible study time? Well, today I'm going to share with you one simple action step that will transform your study time. Hey, I'm Maggie, and I'm passionate about helping you grow spiritually and understand the Bible. Today, we're going to focus on one action step that will help make your Bible study time more meaningful and consistent. And it's really simple. It's a goal action step of writing out or planning out your study time. So instead of just coming to the Word, not knowing where to study, what to do, flipping through the pages and then closing your eyes and picking a verse and then reading that, maybe reading the whole chapter and not really getting anything from it. Maybe sometimes you might fall upon a verse that's actually like ministers to you or talk about your situation, but not getting the depth or coming back to the word and just clueless. So you're going to devotionals and reading that and getting something from that, which is good in itself, but to be able to dive in the word for yourself, understand when you read it, what it means, and all that good stuff. So the first thing I'll say is write out your why. Why? Why are you desiring to get closer to God? Why do you want to spend more time in the Word? Your why is so important. Understanding why you are studying the Bible, why you want to make that time an important time for you in your schedule. Write out your why. After you have your why down, you want to write out your goals. Write out how you want your Bible study to look for that week. Take it week by week. Maybe one of your goals is to read a book of the Bible for that week. So pick a book that's maybe short enough that you can knock out at least 1 to 2 chapters a day. So plan that out. See how that looks for you. Is it realistic to be able to read 2 chapters a day? Maybe it's not. Stick with 1 chapter a day. And then map out, okay, how am I going to break down that chapter after I read it? Then come up with questions or research questions. What type of questions should I ask myself after reading this chapter? As you zero in on those questions, then you'll be able to have a clear focus when you study. So you're reading the chapter, then you have your questions. Now you're able to come not haphazardly or undecisive on what to do. You clearly know what chapter you're reading. You clearly know what questions you're going to ask. If you are struggling with what type of questions, I have tons of journals of different questions that you can get. The description box below will have them. You can choose any one of the journals and it will help you to dive into a chapter. And then after you read a chapter and be able to answer these questions after you reread the chapter, then you can zero in on a couple of verses that stood out to you as you read and dive into them, break them apart, look up the meaning of those verses and learn them, memorize them, get some context of different verses that may actually say the same thing and elaborate on that concept. So that will fall under the category of action steps. Then you want to write out your possible obstacles. There are always going to be obstacles in your way. There are going to be times when you just don't feel like getting up and studying the word. There's going to be times that you want to sleep in a little longer. Those are some possible obstacles. Write them down. Then you're going to write out how you're going to overcome those obstacles. You don't want to just stay there like, yeah, I know these things are going to come, but what are you going to do different this time? How are you going to overcome those obstacles? You're going to write when you set your alarm for whatever time it is, and you are not going to press that snooze button. You're going to get up right away. You're not going to overthink it. You're just going to get up and go for it. I know for me, sometimes it's kind of colder now, so I may be tempted to want to stay longer because I'm cold. One thing I do is I make sure I leave my robe next to my bed. So as soon as I get up, I just throw on my robe. So I will be at least warmer than I would have been if I had to go off to get it. So I know like I am intentionally setting myself up to get out of bed, even if it's cold. So as you set up these things and you make time intentionally for God, intentional time to pray, to spend with him, you're showing up. We want to develop this relationship that we have with God, just like our earthly relationships. If you are in a relationship with someone and you don't make intentional time for them, how are they going to feel? Are they going to be okay with that you do not spend time with them? Personal time is important. So same with the Lord. Intentionally setting yourself up to meet with him each and every day and leaving space for just sitting in quiet in time of prayer and just seeking God in that way. It may not be a deep, long study, but it may just be you coming to God intentionally in prayer and just waiting. whatever it is, if you set up your time, your space in that day, that margin of rest each and every day to be able to seek God, you will find Him. Check out the description box for a free downloadable goal action guide. So I hope these tips was helpful to you, and if they were, let me know in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. Bye.